Hello, everybody can hear me?
Hi Laura, yes we can.
I feel with these Zooms, it's like starting a Star Trek machine. You have to get all these buttons pressed before you can get going. Good afternoon, everybody. Well, we're nearly at the afternoon. As Grace says, yes, I'm Laura and I work with Momentum. And again, like everybody else as well here, it's lovely to see you all this morning and to engage in this project at such a special level at this stage of the project actually, and its final leg. So in terms of food, it's incredible for myself anyway. Before I start my presentation, I actually went away to Australia for about 10 years in 2009. And although the food industry was quite established in Leitrim, since I've come back, it's come leaps and bounds, and it's just phenomenal, the scope and the number and the diversity, as the girls were saying there earlier on, that's actually originated in Leitrim over the previous years. So and I was actually very privileged to join Momentum again. I used to work with Momentum before I went to Australia, and to become part of the Taste Leitrim project. So I'm just going to let's get the presentation up on screen and we'll get going. Just share my screen first. Okay. And I'm assuming that everybody can see that, can they? From
yes, thanks, Laura. It's in the desktop view. If you can do the
I'm trying to get it into the. What I might have to do, because I have two screens, it's actually flipping over to the other screen. So I'm just going to stop share and share my other screen, okay? But that just means that you're going to have to see a side view of my face, but I'm going to try and look over it too. And so let me just do that again.
Thanks, Laura. That's your good side though anyway, isn't it?
Do you reckon? Oh, thanks very much. You're off good. So here we are. I'm assuming you can all see it now. It's in the screen mode. Is that right, Grace?
Yes, thank you. We can see it full screen. Perfect.
Okay, let's rock and roll. So everybody. So yes, we invite you to Taste Leitrim. We're very, very proud of this project. And what we have over the years, there's no better name for it than when you taste Leitrim, you taste the world. And what's so beautiful about it is the project is that when you taste Leitrim, taste the world, you're actually, sorry now, just bear with me a wee second now because I can't, here we go. Just a little bit delayed, here we go. So when you taste Leitrim, you taste the world. It's fantastic how we focus on our local produce and organic where we can. How different cultures have come in and twisted our ingredients into their dishes. So it's quite unusual and fantastic to try. So if I'll introduce you to Taste Leitrim, when I say that, I mean the whole county. So we're talking about over 110 different food and drink champions. So they definitely are champions, places to eat. And over this presentation, I'll show you, we get to know the wonderful chefs, the producers, the food entrepreneurs, distillers and baristas across the county of Leitrim. And as you know, it does take not only a diversity in culture, but a diversity in expertise and skills when it comes to food to be able to establish a very strong branded food destination. So I'm only going to briefly go through some of the chefs and the producers in Leitrim. You're going to get to meet them face to face through Zoom on Thursday at the afternoon event. So I'm only going to just introduce you to them. They can take the floor at the multiplier event. So where are we? We're actually in the northwest of Ireland, a very rural place called Leitrim, and it's fantastic because we're actually just sitting on the Wild Atlantic Way on one side, and the other side is Ireland's new national tourism branding campaign, the Hidden Heartlands. And I suppose when I used to go away, people in Ireland didn't really know where Leitrim was, but it's since I've come back to Ireland, it's firmly on the map, and we have found our niche, and our niche is rural food, producers, the community feel, the farmers market feel, and you know, I suppose just being raw and authentic in everything that we do. So here's a couple of our guys. We love food, there's no doubt about it. And as you can see here, from cheeses to kefir mix, like, you know, we have a huge health focus here. We do believe the food is medicinal as well. And we've jams and we've boxty. I'll tell you a little bit more about boxty. It's a kind of a unique selling point for us in Leitrim. So how did it all start? Well, it started in 2015, and it's phenomenal what's been achieved in those few years, because and we did definitely need a certain partnership. So we needed a collaboration of certain key people in the project, and that included a Rural Innovation and Development Fund. So we've all learned from these projects how important it is that we all work together on every level we can to make sure we're all aligned and on the same page. Leitrim County Council and the Food Hub, and then obviously Leitrim Tourism was really important there as well. So, like, what are we going to do? Where do we start? Like, how do we do this? So the first thing we decided was that we need to build a superior marketing engine. And that meant that we needed a number of things, a number of low-cost, innovative marketing tools that all of our members could use across the county. And it fitted in with their businesses and their food offerings. And then we obviously, it was really important to bring everyone together on the grassroots level, as well as on the, I suppose, the funding level among the food and drink producers, so that we all shared the marketing opportunity and everybody was on board and felt engaged, I suppose, and connected to the destination and to Taste Leitrim. So obviously the first thing we had to figure out, well, what is our brand? Like, what is that all about? And, you know, a brand connects the business to the consumer. We also had to connect the destination, we had to connect food. What's it going to be called? You know, how are we going to make this emotional connection? All of these things are really important to brand, and how are we going to remain in the memory of our customers? So we kind of all got together, we jotted down what we thought we were, so to make sure and see what the commonalities were. And we're definitely a collective of happy people. We love what we do. We're very, very proud and passionate. A lot of people came to Leitrim. Actually, some people, when I spoke to them, they came to Leitrim, but they didn't think they were going to stay in Leitrim. They came for a visit and they ended up staying. Just like Sham there, one of our producers, or sorry, one of our restaurant owners, and he's a producer as well. So I think what we learned as well, we all care about our customers, and that we really resonated with the fact that there is a huge spread across the county, and every county has its own thing. So we had to hone in on that as well. So we all came together and decided, well, we are a diverse world cuisine food. So as many of our chefs are from Leitrim, others aren't. And it does diverse from, we'll say, gastropubs, vintage tea rooms, family-run bakeries, innovative food on the go. We have a food hub, so we've got a lot of proprietors there and a lot of businesses making magic happen, and I'll show you some of that later on. And all are involved in our culinary adventure. So we know with Taste Leitrim that it's not stagnant, that it's evolving and is constantly growing and is constantly moving, and that we are trying to keep up with that and make sure that that's captured and communicated to our customers. And then I'm just going to show you a little video here, and I'm going to introduce you to Leitrim, so you have a little look at it. And you can see the culture, what's going on, and get a little flavour. And we have obviously Italian, Mediterranean, Asian dishes. We also have a Wild West ranch that we're very proud of. So I'm just going to play this video for you now. It's not over here. Here we go. Hopefully now it can load up pretty quick.
We'll just test the sound, Laura, when it starts, just in case, if you know, sometimes when it loads this slowly, the sound comes through distorted. But let's see how it goes.
Yeah. Seems okay, Grace.
Maybe you can turn it up a little bit, Laura. No, we're not hearing it on our side, Laura, the sound, but
You can't hear it, Grace?
no, there's no sound coming through. It's very, very low, but it is distorted. So maybe we'll do like what we did this morning, and we'll just maybe share the link in the chat, and people can have a look.
Yeah, sure. Or we can put on subtitles either if you want.
If you could do that. Yeah, perfect. Let's do that.
Right.
Great. That's working. Yeah. So just what we're seeing here is a number of the producers and the stakeholders who have been involved in creating and bringing together the Taste Leitrim campaign. So the Taste Leitrim campaign, as Laura mentioned, is all about local food, regional food, and putting a face to the county's food offering, both from a tourism point of view, trying to encourage people to come here, but also from a producer and kind of a level where we try to encourage the local restaurants, the local food sector to engage with local producers and to use local produce as much as possible. I think that kind of sums it up. I know you're going to go into this in more detail, Laura, but just to give a little bit of context to what people are seeing here, because we can't see the sound, hear the sound. So like our Portuguese partners showed this morning, we're getting to see some of the sights of Leitrim and some of the landscapes, very different, I think, to Portugal, where they have very, very hot weather. We have an abundance of rain, so lots of green scenery. We're zooming in here on the different parts of the county. So the Taste Leitrim campaign looks at different parts of the county, north, south, and Laura's going to show us that now and tell us a little bit more about it, I think.
Sure, Grace. If we look at the community, oh sorry, there's something playing in the background. So, I think with all the practice we have with these, we'd be well.
Yeah, it's technology though, isn't it, Laura? It's not practice. Technology always does.
We're playing the technology, and I have to bring this fella back over here. Oh gosh. Okay, let's minimize it and bring it over that way. There she is. Two more ways to skin a cat, isn't there? Okay. So yeah, with Taste Leitrim, what was really important was the community feel, and you know, to make sure that our communities were also involved. And so we obviously had to talk to them as well and see what they felt and what they believed and understood about Taste Leitrim. So we found out a few things. So we found out they do love eating locally sourced food. They do love the farmer markets aspect. They love bringing the food from I suppose, the field to the plate when they go home and share it with their families. They get great satisfaction and feel good knowing that they're supporting the local businesses, and obviously that the food is made with care and compassion, using a lot of unique recipes, so they know they're going to try something different and share something different. And they want to get to know the local producers. They want to know what they look like and what their stories are. And especially when the producers and the food has been made so accessible through our supermarkets, and it's affordable and it's kept traditional and it's kept authentic. So it's really, we found out through that is that our eateries was really important for them to make food that was authentic, natural, healthy, unprocessed and fresh. And that it actually helped them to stand ahead of stiff competition and to become as market leaders in their own right in Leitrim. So as a result of that, and since the inception of Taste Leitrim, the customers have become forever loyal as they endorse such highly regarded businesses which sees honest, responsible to their local communities. Excuse me, like what's really key about Taste Leitrim as well is that we're sustainable, we're environmentally friendly, and we love our little animals and we look after them. And there's nothing nicer than when you go into, say, a cafe where you talk to your friends and everybody's talking about, well, did you try this? Oh my God, did you try this in such a place? So we find out that every restaurant and every eatery and cafe are famous for something in particular. Like Jimmy's Tea Rooms, I love their white chocolate scones. So that's something that's on the top of my list. But when I go in, I'm always curious to try something else. But that's my pull factor whenever I go there. So we do know that Taste Leitrim is more than a brand, and it obviously all these elements are really important, but we had to make sure that we had a call to action, so that we had to tell people what we're all about, what is their reason to come and taste Leitrim and to come and visit and try it out and talk about it. We had to hone in on the unique destination and that it's unspoiled and natural, and that people actually get to break away from the stresses of urban living. So we've lovely little villages and little towns, and we've play parks, and we've loads of attractions and culture and heritage there, and huge a number of walks and trails. So you're not just coming for food, you're coming for a feel-good experience. And through it all, which was really, really important, was that everybody was on board. So we ended up with a collective of over 110 businesses. As I said, that's still growing. And to help people understand the destination and the region, and make sure that, I suppose, because it takes a certain length of time to get from one region to another, what we did was we honed in and split it up into 5. So the whole Leitrim County destination, we split it up into 5 different food trails and food areas, so that if people had, say, only a couple of hours in a day, that they could go to that specific area and they knew everything that was available there, so they could make a decision of what would be the top of their list to do on that given occasion. And out of that, we came with food trails and maps to help people get around. We developed itineraries as well, so that we showed them what else they can do in the area. And obviously the website was the most important thing as well, to communicate that online and in the virtual world, and to make sure that people that weren't in destination could access and understand what Taste Leitrim was all about. So one of the first things we did was we did 59 video profiles of the businesses. And that was done in a short period of time, because what we understood was it's not good to just have some text on a website. We need videos. People, as I said, want to see these owners. They want to get to know them. And then when they go down the street, they'll say hello, and, you know, they become familiar, and that brings in that community feel and community aspect to it. And as I said, Leitrim is one of the smallest, or I suppose least populated counties in Ireland. But our little secret is given away, and more and more people are coming to Leitrim every year. But there's one thing we definitely do. We do pack a serious culinary punch, and we try to encapsulate that as much as we can in everything we do and say. So I have another little video here, but as Grace said, that I probably won't show it because I'll put it into the chat, and you can have a look at it later on. And it's got some, it's just probably an example of the type of video content. So you saw the first video, that was about the destination itself. Then we had other content that was on the producers and on the restaurant owners and the drinks owners. So all of the food producers and the food ambassadors behind Taste Leitrim. And then we said, well, look, we also need to get some really, really good content based on the trails so that we can communicate the trails. So here I have, it's amazing content, and we actually hone in on the food in those areas and the types of restaurants, and it's absolutely phenomenal, the standard of food that we were able to showcase and experience throughout this journey in building the content. And we have this video, of course, as well. It's dedicated to Organic Leitrim and Leitrim's Boxty story, which is a story on a food that's, I suppose, unique to the northwest of Ireland. But with Leitrim, what we have is we love to bring our visitors here and get them to try something different and new, and something we know they haven't tried before, which is our Boxty. So I'll tell you a little bit more about that later on. But this is a prominent feature on our homepage. In our website, we also have a blogs and news section, so we try to keep that up to date. So we always encourage our members to tell us about what's going on. We want them to tell us what's new, any products, any new menus, or any opening hours, so that people are informed and they know what's going on in the area and they feel better connected. We also have a social media campaign at the minute where we get people who go to visit our restaurants. Unfortunately, as you know, COVID at the minute, that's not possible, but that is always permanent there on the website, so that if any of our visitors want to show off some amazing food that they have had the privilege of trying, that they can share it on the social media. And that's our way of communicating that every dish is perfection. So it's not just for the cameras, every customer gets a high class quality dish. This is just a little photo of some of the food in the area, so you can see the different types of food. So we have our tea rooms up there on the top left, some of our desserts, our jams and chutneys, and then we have obviously some cheeses. We've loads of different types of breads. So anything you name across the food spectrum is here. And of course, we had to equip our members with the resources that they needed to ensure that the brand was kept consistent and strong, and that these resources were free and accessible anytime, whether online or hard copy. So we developed this for Taste Leitrim, but we collectively got the support of the businesses and what they were doing. So we needed to understand their opening hours, what their key dishes were, where they're located, you know, what they want to say about their business. So we had to consider all of this content in developing these resources and actually find out what they're amazing at, what's so, you know, what's fantastic about one business compared to another, and showcase that and make sure that their message is being heard and their voice. We had a few things, so I'm just going to go through a couple here. There's a list, but I'm going to just show and tell more than anything. I think pictures speak 1,000 words. But obviously we had the website, the social media, which is Facebook, Instagram, the marketing toolkit, food styling guide. So especially when our members, they're trying to show their food, we need to show them how to do it in an easy way with the resources they already have and the phones they already had. The map and itinerary, of course, that's helping people get around the Taste Leitrim destination better. And with the food producers guide, so that's to help communicate what they do and what they produce, where they are, and how you can get their food, of course. And then we had bumper window menu stickers so that everybody was all behind the Taste Leitrim brand. We have logos for packaging labels as well that they can use, which is Taste Leitrim as well branded. Over 80 restaurants, cafes, bakeries, and over 20 food producers. Of course, the 59 digital video profiles. And we've had numerous other videos done since then as well, and the 5 virtual trails. So this is the marketing toolkit. So every member got this toolkit, and it was designed again to be practical and to be easy to read. So it's got plenty of images there, plenty of show and tell, excuse me, step-by-step approach on how to market your business in Taste Leitrim. And we we actually had a couple of events as well where people could come and learn about this. So we've done numerous workshops, marketing classes. So we didn't just develop it and hand it out. We actually had a few things and activities going on behind that to make sure they understood how to use it and what it was. We all know that it's easier to explain how something works through words rather than just hand a book over. And then obviously any questions that they had, we were able to fine tune the marketing toolkit as well. So we showed them how to use it through a marketing strategy, and then obviously how they could further strengthen their own brand and not just the Taste Leitrim brand. So of course all of our members have their own website, they have their own marketing going on, but they're definitely interlinked with the Taste Leitrim brand, and they're all saying the same thing, that they're proud of Taste Leitrim. And then obviously we had some content in there to show them what they can say, how they can say it, so how they can, you know, communicate their vision, how they can communicate their message and what they're all about to their customers. And then this is the food styling workbook, and it's actually credited because a lot of our members have started using it, and I suppose they call it the lone nut effect, where one person does it and shows it on their website and the rest of them go, well, if he can do it, I'm going to give it a try. And that's what we encouraged all of our members to do. Just give it a try. It's better to have some pictures up there, and you know, you can master it as you go, but it's better to have some pictures up there rather than none at all, because if you want to communicate what you do, especially through food, you definitely need amazing, compelling, strong images. And we actually guided people. It wasn't just images and photography, it was actually filming the food, you know, how to develop a food video. And one of the things that we encourage people to do was to actually let people see in your kitchen, you cooking, the chef cooking, and, you know, the camaraderie and the fun and all the story behind the making of the food. So we also realised, to, I suppose, latch into the tourism part of it all and working closely with Leitrim Tourism, was that we needed to have an ultimate guide specific for our destination visitors. And what this was important was we wanted to be pocket sized so they could put it in their glove box easy. Sometimes in different areas, you know, connectivity, or you don't want to be on your phone in the car, but you prefer to have something that you can look at. And we also used, obviously, distributed throughout hotels and other attractions in Leitrim. We just want to make sure that people have something in their hand. And when we developed this, we made sure that we weren't actually, the language that we used was important, we incorporated some of what our customers had said through TripAdvisor, so what was important to them. So we made sure that people understood what not only was important that the producers and the members and restaurant owners wanted to say, but what was really important to our customers as well. So it was kind of, I suppose you could say, a review or endorsement from the visitors that came to the area. And again, as I said, these are the 5 trails. I'll go show you a couple more pictures, but the Wild Atlantic Way is the north part of Leitrim. Then we've Drumshanbo. We call it the town of food, and that mainly because the food hub is there. Then we've Leitrim, Shannon, Blue Way, so that's a lot of restaurants and hotels along the Blue Way. So we have a huge marine system here and a lot of boating that goes on throughout the year. And that was to hone in on that, and we're very proud, and it's actually one of the award-winning Blue Way in Ireland. And then we have the Taste Carrick and Shannon. Carrick and Shannon is the capital of Leitrim, so that's why we have that trail. And then we have the Drumlin Trail, and that's in the south part of the country. So they all have something different, something special to offer. And I suppose what does connect us beautifully throughout all of the 5 trails is our waterways, our mountains, our beautiful greenery, our rural areas, the accommodation providers. We're world renowned, known for our accommodation providers and our hospitality and our greeting. And we're quintessential for having the guest house and the B&Bs with the lady coming to the door with the apron on, and she's after making her homemade bread, or she's after purchasing it from producers. So they all work together and they all try and I suppose sell the food and promote the food in Leitrim. So if we have a quick look at the Wild Atlantic Way, each trail has their own colour. It's their own brand within the Taste Leitrim brand colours. And I'll just show you here, we just give a brief idea of what the destination is about. So for example, Wild Atlantic Way, North Leitrim, that captures the spirit and the environment of North Leitrim. You need to think sustainable, artistic, healthy and wholly natural. Leitrim may have the shortest coastline of any seaside county in Ireland, but it's a special part of the Wild Atlantic Way. So we have Dromahair. These are the main towns and villages. We've got Dromahair, Rossinver, Killa and Manorhamilton. They're almost stops to boast great food experiences, genuine hospitality and stunning scenery. And this is one of the restaurants at the courthouse. It's actually fantastic. It's just up the road from me because I'm from the north part. And it focuses on Mediterranean food. Piero, I think he's been there for over 20 years, originally from Italian, now living here since. And he's got kids as well, but he is adamant on using local produce. So with his dishes, he changes his dishes according to the available local produce. And what he's renowned for as well is the fish. So he always tries to get fresh local fish, and he's actually won a couple of awards for his fish dishes. And he has won many awards like the McKenna's Guide, 100 Best Restaurants in Ireland, Georgina Campbell, and he's been on the Michelin Guide as well, and he's actually been in again this year. So that's just, I give you an example of what one of the trails looks like. And then of course there's others there as well. So there's the last two, Carrick and Shannon, and then we have Drummond and South Leitrim. And what we did at the back of the map as well is that we had numbers for each of the businesses so they could be found easily on the map, and they are all split up into each of their trails as well. So you can see there that every I suppose region or every destination or trail has a good number of offerings there, up to 14 in some of them. So this gives you an idea of the inside of the book. So we have an afternoon tea section. So if you want to try out every afternoon tea section in Leitrim or restaurant or cafe, you're very welcome to, and it's all in that section. Then we have an itinerary there. So you can see just here we have it's for day 1, day 2, day 3. What we suggest how you can get around the country and get to see as much as you can, the county, and you can get to see as much as you can within a short time frame. And then obviously the Boxty story. So the Boxty story then has its own section. And with Boxty, it is being sold throughout Leitrim in supermarkets. So that's fantastic for the self-catering as well, because they can offer to their guests if you haven't already experienced it in the restaurants. So we've even had our own festival with Boxty. So what is it? Well, it's like a pancake, I suppose, a potato pancake, but it's not for the faint-hearted to try and make. You have to finely grate and peel potatoes. You know, Ireland, we're famous for our potatoes. And it's pinch of salt, milk, and 2 ounces of flour. And I think, like with most countries, we all have our staple dish that when, I suppose, especially in poverty times, when you had limited ingredients, you had to try and make the best out of those ingredients and make food that your family can enjoy and that's tasty. And as you can see, there's very few ingredients here, but it is one of the tastiest dishes that you'll ever try. Some people actually make wraps out of them. Some people just eat them for breakfast with bacon and egg in the morning. Some people just grab it and go for lunch and they just have it plain. But it is a savoury, and I love with a bit of butter on it and a fried egg, and you never get sick of them. So with the festival, which was really good, it's another way, obviously, and a great way of bringing the community together. For the Boxty Festival, we had like obviously farmers markets, and we got the whole restaurants and everyone together in on this and selling it and trying it. We had workshops on how to make it. We had a lot of competitive people across Ireland come for a competition on the best Boxty. We had some folklore, music, we dancing, entertainment. Obviously we had Boxty tasting, so it was a really good event. So we would really encourage that, to try and have those community festivals and events to showcase you know, your food, and especially what you're known and unique for. This is a video of the Boxty Festival. I'll put that again in the link because you can't hear it. And you can see there's, I think Helen, she was from Cavan. So I'm not sure who won it, but everybody does it a little bit differently. Some boil it and some grate it, but yeah, we all have, and a lot of those, I suppose, ingredients and how the methods and how you do it is passed down from generation to generation. So there's a lot of pride behind it. So how do we bring everyone together, make sure everyone is together and remind them of Taste Leitrim? We have bumper stickers. So you can see here on the door, we put bumper stickers on doors. You can put them on your car. And then we also have the proud member of Taste Leitrim button. So all of our members have those on their websites. And obviously when you click that, you go into the Taste Leitrim website. So it's a powerful customer focused food destination. We want to make sure that that is encouraged and promoted. So this is the proud member that's obviously on the websites. And the website is the absolute heart of what we do. And we're always promoting it and updating it. So you can't just do a website and leave it. You have to pay it some love and care and attention throughout the whole journey. And here we have some, so this is just some more examples of the bumper. So it's very simple. There's not a lot of information, just one clear message on the website, obviously. We see this is one of the restaurants. What they have is they put it on the menu. So we have tiny little stickers that we can give out as well that people put on the menu. And that's a great way as well because it connects the customer to the destination in a way that they are likely to visit the website, and actually we want to encourage people to stay a bit longer. So instead of coming for 3 hours for a meal, they might actually stay for 3 days when they see everything we have to offer. Here we have the producer's guide. So every producer has an inspiring story to tell, a passion to show, an experience to share, and so happens to be their unique selling point. Some recipes, again, have been handed from generation to generation. Many have ethics and integrity, sustaining the environment, and they all ensure their animals are well looked after. And what we find is, in terms of tourism, more and more visitors, they want authentic culture and heritage experiences. They want to get under the skin of the community. They want to be up with the craft maker and see him making some glass pots. They want to be in the kitchens of the food producers when they're making their bread and learn from them in their own environments. They want to be, they want to see the chickens where these our lovely eggs have come from. They want to be involved in the harvesting of the food and the crops, and get down and dirty, and connect with nature. I suppose we all take that for granted because a lot of us in rural areas do take that for granted, but in the cities and urban areas we find that that's what they come from. They want to see a lamb, they want to see chicken, they want to see farms, and they want to get up close and personal and meet new people and hear these stories. Storytelling is such a huge part of what we do. So for Leitrim's food producers, we do try to remain, I suppose, top of our game, and we are. We're very, very high up there in Ireland and abroad. And we have a huge number of artisans, talented crafts, highly experienced gardeners, growers. Like the Organic Centre, it's massive. I don't know, they must have 50 courses in terms of food and how to be sustainable in your home, and there's a lot of stuff there as well. It's not just adults and visitors, it's for kids as well. So we want to make sure that we pass on good practices and tools and skills to them. And obviously we've the bakers, the farmers, the producers and the eateries. I'm not sure if you know Drumshanbo's gin. So it's a gunpowder gin, and it's pretty special. It's in a blue bottle. They also have this amazing, that's them actually in the big photo there in the top left. They also have a vodka, sausage bean vodka, and it's crazy actually when I heard it, but it tastes amazing. And that's, I suppose, fantastic too, that we haven't yet discovered a lot of our ingredients and we haven't tasted everything just yet. But that is a sausage bean tree in Africa. and it's called sausage bean treat because that's the shape of the bean. And what they've done is they've mixed it with Leitrim nettles. So that's an unusual but a fantastic approach and innovative way to develop, I suppose, our taste buds and develop something quite unique and different. And if things like that don't put us on a global scale, I don't know it will, but he's won huge awards. Our preserves and condiments, our dairy, fruit and veg. So there is definitely something there for everybody with our producers. And they're all very charismatic. They're all very passionate. So you can see that when I send the videos to you, you'll see what I'm talking about. And they do love to show how they make their food and where it comes from, and they love to share their, I suppose, what they know and what they've learned throughout their journeys as well. So we do have to update this again every year. We have different sections. So one section is fruit and veg and herbs. We've got a bakery section, confectionery, dairy, preserves and condiments, meat, beverages, and prepared meals. And so in there you can see that we have a little bit of a story behind what they're about. And obviously the source locations. This is the really, really important part of this producer's guide, is that people know where to get their favourite foods. So Blake's Always Organic, they are famous for their kefir milk, which is very medicinal for gut health. And obviously their retail outreach is increasing year on year. So we need to make sure that people know that and understand where they can get this product and ensure that demand remains that way. So obviously it's important as well to sell in different ways. So whether that's online, in shops, in restaurants, you know, they have their own online shop as well. So, and then obviously the other products. And then obviously the contact details and email and website if you can't actually go to any of those locations for some reason. So then when in our online listing, so this is our producers map, our producers online listing. We have, obviously, you can see here in the map where that's where they are located. So you can see that they're kind of spread fairly well across Leitrim. And then, for example, you can click onto one of the producers. So for this one now, for example, McNiss Boxley, they're really famous for their Boxley. They've been making it since the 1980s, and they use their family recipe, which is over 150 years old, so that's quite special. And they reckon that it's been perfected to be the best you'll ever taste. When you do click on their story, you'll see that we have McNiss over here, and she's very proudly standing with her Taste Leitrim. You can't see it because it's under the screen there, but her Taste Leitrim plaque. And it's got the little story and the locations and just some more information on our producers. Okay, so social media. Again, social media is really, really important. And it was important to choose social media platforms that fit in with the Taste Leitrim brand. So we chose obviously highly visual social media. Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, and Twitter. And Twitter was fantastic for the news bit as well. And obviously that these are the well-established social media platforms that a lot of people are already engaged in, particularly our visitors and our members. So we wanted to make sure that we use these to optimum ability. So we also have a YouTube channel. That's where all our videos are located. They live and breathe. And we're always encouraging our members to come along and do a video with us if there's something new or something special, if they want to tell us something about their business. And we are constantly building on that. So this is an example of our Facebook. And this was taken by a professional photographer, but you can see here that it's really important to continually push forward high quality social media. So we are behind it, and we encourage our members to come along and show us what's going on and post that we can actually share really good content. But this one I've got a lot of reach because it's one of our lovely Stanford in it's a little kind of a pub, but they do have a lovely tea rooms at the back, and they've a lovely walk along the river. So they're famous for that, and obviously their lunches are to die for. So that's just lovely and captured by this photographer. Then we have our boxy, so we show our boxy, and we got a lovely mention there on a local radio show and what it's all about. And then we have the photograph there to the right side. It's Acres Lake in Drumshanbo, and it's a new walkway. It's a wooden or a boarded walkway on our blueway, and it connects Drumshanbo to Leitrim village. And we have electric bikes that go up and down there, and we have some lovely eateries in Drumshanbo. So that was quite a stunning photograph as well. It's a really special place to go to. Then we have our famous Adrian Dunbar. I don't know if you watch Netflix, but he is on Netflix there. I can't remember the name of the show he's on, but he actually came to Chef Piero, and that's the courthouse that I spoke about earlier on. Well, it's actually The Line of Duty he's in, and he's one of the main actors in it. And he actually did a documentary series with Adrian Dunbar. And we're always encouraging our businesses, like, you know, they love their food, to come out and show themselves in front of the camera. And, you know, don't be afraid, give it a try. And it's amazing what kind of coverage you can get out of just dropping an email to a producer and becoming involved in a show such as this. So we got some huge connectivity out of that. And then, as we are always trying to constantly evolve, we have, this is Drum and Ilra opening in Carrick-on-Shannon, and it's what it is it's Ireland's first drive-through organic centre. So that is quite special, and that is it. So Carrick-on-Shannon, if I said already, that's actually the capital of Leitrim, so it's a little town. And where it's located is right beside the supermarkets and the main hub of the town. So it's a lovely element that it brings the organic food and the farmers market effect as opposed to the whole supermarket and retail aspect. So we're plonking ourselves in commercial areas as well. And this is our Instagram account. So these are some of our lovely producers here. And I have to say that every one of them are award-winning in their own right, and they strive year on year to maintain and keep those awards and be top of the list. So so you can see that our branding has remained consistent throughout all our social media, our producer's guide and our ultimate guide. And yes, we're a unique dining experience as well. So we have we've actually got some kitchens, and what they do is they bring in, it's Eder Gold Kitchen, which is named after the place. What they do is to bring in people for a bespoke event in their own kitchens, and they do focus on key vegan food and vegetarian foods, and they're actually award-winning chefs themselves. They came to Leitrim, fell in love with Leitrim, and this is quite a special experience. So we do love to do something different, and when we can and get the chance to do it and do it well. So this is a video. I think there's only music on this, so maybe we can show this at the end. But Rigby Food Experience promo. So the curious journey of the curious mind. So I spoke about Rigby's Drumshanbo Gin earlier on. And this guy is phenomenal, like he's constantly evolving, and he's part of the food hub, which is where all the retailers and all the businesses are for production. But they have decided to make it into a tourist experience. So what they have is they've got a huge visitor centre that's just recently launched. It's a fantastic, beautiful showroom, and they've got some demonstration areas. They've got tastings, you can walk around and try the food yourself. They have a gift shop, and they have a little cafe there, it's called the Jackalope. They have the Honey Badger Bar, and then they've got an actual tourism experience journey. Obviously that has been called off because of COVID, but it is all about where the ordinary meets the extraordinary, and it's actually launched fantastically, and we've got great reports about it. And again, this is in the heart of rural Ireland. What's beautiful about Drumshanbo is that it's actually, I suppose, very central to all of the trails and what Taste Leitrim is about. And it's a fully guided tour with some expert tastings. So I'm going to play this. And this is the whole botanical building. This is actually some of the drinks. There's your sausage tree vodka. That's your gunpowder gin. And this is another version. And then obviously their Drumshanbo, they have a whiskey as well, which is very, very popular and award-winning.